Welcome to a special series of Kitchen Chat, a taste of luxury, history, and hospitality. This is your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so excited you are joining me for this delicious journey. Today, let's visit the InterContinental Mark Hopkins, San Francisco. With its rich legacy and grand architecture, this beloved landmark is located at the crest of the celebrated Nob Hill. Built in 1926, this hotel has historic charm, modern services, amenities, and breathtaking views, and is one of the city's most sought-after destinations for meetings, weddings, and Bay Area exploring. And of course, the hotel's restaurants, Nob Hill Club and Top of the Mark, have delicious selections and great history. Let's first chat with Connie Perez Wong, the hotel's creative director, to learn about the fascinating history of InterContinental Mark Hopkins, San Francisco. Thank you and welcome to Kitchen Chat.
Oh, well, thank you and welcome to the InterContinental Mark Hopkins.
Oh,
we're thrilled that you're here with us and that you're going to feature us on your podcast.
The moment you walk out of the car, you're greeted by Tony. How long has Tony been here?
Oh, a long time, maybe 30 years, I think.
Great.
Yeah, close to.
You have a real sense of family.
Oh, definitely, yes.
You're welcomed in, and Roy at the front desk is just so lovely.
We are a very close-knit team, and it really does feel like a family here.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it all began, if you can take us back in terms of opening and a little bit farther, because I think people might have the question,
yes,
why is it named Mark Hopkins?
Yes. So the hotel is built on the site of the mansion of Mr. Mark Hopkins. So Mr. Mark Hopkins was a mining engineer from the East Coast who came out to California to capitalize on the gold rush at the time, back in the 1800s, right?
Yes.
So he came over and he opened some businesses,
yes,
and then he was a very, very rich man, but he was also very, very frugal. But his wife wasn't. So she convinced him to build a home on top of Nob Hill along with the other tycoons at the time. The little home turned out to be a 39-room mansion. Yes, so it was a beautiful mansion. Unfortunately, Mr. Hopkins never got to live in it because he passed away before it was completed. So Mrs. Hopkins eventually moved in, and about 2 years later, Mrs. Hopkins remarried, and the gentleman was her interior decorator, who was a little bit quite her junior. But that's okay because of his ties, because he was an artist. Right? So because of his ties to the he was actually an instructor, I believe, at the San Francisco Art Institute at the time.
Oh, wow.
So he started having his students come over to the mansion to paint or work on their artwork. So it became a big studio for them.
Wow.
However, in 1906, San Francisco had a big earthquake, and sadly, most of the whole city was destroyed. Not really by the earthquake, but by the fires that followed it. Yeah. The ironic situation was there was a, I think, 10-ton cistern underneath the mansion, but because Mrs. Hopkins had passed away in the meantime, right? So nobody knew about it, and unfortunately, the mansion burned to the ground. But the retaining wall is still there, and up to today, it's still around the courtyard of the hotel. So that's what makes us a California landmark.
Amazing. So then what happened after everything burned down? Something was built here.
Because in the meantime, the husband had donated actually the mansion before the earthquake to the school. So it became the San Francisco Art Institute.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. But after it was burned down, they didn't have the funds, of course, to build another mansion, so they built a very simple structure.
Yes.
And then so it just went along until Mr. George D. Smith came to San Francisco. He was also from the East Coast, also an engineer, and walked by the plot of land in the simple school structure and decided what a perfect place to build a hotel. So he bought the land, and then they tore down the school, which was just the one-level school at the time, and They started construction around 1925 and completed, and the hotel had its grand opening on December 4th, 1926.
And there is, you showed me, the beautiful ballroom, one of the beautiful ballrooms. Can we share what is so special and significant about that?
Yes, so Mark Hopkins has two historic ballrooms. The smaller one, which is the Room of the Dawns, that features these priceless murals now, 9 panels, and they were commissioned to 2 Southwest artists, Maynard Dixon and Frank Van Sloan. So they've been there since the opening of the hotel, and they're still there today. So of the 7 panels, the central one is of a legendary Amazonian queen named Queen Califia, of which, as the rumor goes, California was named after her.
And I never knew this. So an Amazon queen. I love
legendary.
Legendary. But I love the female.
Yes, exactly.
Strength
The strong woman.
Yeah. So you also had mentioned there's a very special story behind the model, the female model in this, who represented Queen Khalifa.
Yes, if you get a chance to see the photos of the Room of the Dawns, you'll notice that the female figures in those murals all look the same. And that's because it was based on one single model. And we actually got to meet her because one day our food and beverage department got a phone call and said, from a gentleman, he said, "Oh, I want to plan a party at Top of the Mark for someone who's turning 100 years old." And at the time, the food and beverage coordinator, learned more about what the party was for. And then somehow we learned that she was the actual model that modeled for the murals in the Room of the Dawns. Yeah. So she had her party here, and they actually came out and did an interview with her. She was amazing.
And what was her name?
Ola.
Ola.
Yes.
So we give a shout out to Ola, who has since passed, but her legacy lives on here in the beautiful Room of the Dawns. So if you could share with us a little bit more about the history. There have been so many dignitaries. So when you come visit this beautiful property, you will be stepping into history and staying where so many famous politicians and leaders and philanthropists and celebrities have stayed. Can you give us a little taste of that?
So we brought up the Room of the Dawns. So that's smaller, as I mentioned, of the 2 ballrooms. The other ballroom, the Peacock Court, which we recently renovated, it's been the venue that hosted so many statesman dinners, debutante balls, even fashion shows back in the days. And it was a supper club during the 50s where we had the big bands and then the dancing. It was, you can just kind of imagine it all.
Absolutely. And Benny Goodman, right? He
Benny
played
Goodman.
here.
And then, Xavier Cugat, all these amazing artists.
Yes, and what I love too is there is an actual museum in the hotel.
Yes, we do have a mini museum in the lobby of the hotel, and we feature artifacts over the years. And fun fact is, some of it were in our archives, of course, but some of it, a lot of our guests or children of our guests have written to us and say, "Oh, I found these in my parents' belongings." It's a bill of their room stay when they had their honeymoon, things like that. And part of it, fun fact trivia, we had collected from eBay. We had to come back. So we built out the little museum.
Oh, and it's beautiful, and I love one of the original menus. I can't wait to see what the offerings were on the menu.
A holiday dinner you could get for $8.
Amazing, amazing.
A room stay was $5.
Incredible.
I know, it was quite incredible.
You hosted, was it Prince Philip? A lot of royalty came.
Yes, we've had a lot of royalty in the past, including the Crown Prince and Princess of Japan at one point. Charles de Gaulle.
Oh.
He wasn't royalty, but he was,
Yes,
Charles de
celebrity,
Gaulle.
yes.
A lot of celebrities, I think, in the past, like Anthony Hopkins, maybe Stevie Nicks, Carl Malden, and a lot of movies were filmed in or around the hotel. One of the most famous is Bullet.
Oh.
Yeah, right outside, and there were some scenes that were taken in the lobby.
Oh,
So
that is
we have a lot of history.
incredible. I remember my own personal history. I've been a guest here before when my youngest daughter was working here, and we were here for the air show.
Oh, Fleet Week.
They were flying all
Yes,
over.
so
it was amazing.
it's coming up again. I mean, it usually happens in October, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Top of the Mark is a favorite place for people to come up, for our guests and the locals and visitors alike to view the air show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we're going to dive more into the deliciousness of this location. But if you could share with us a taste of luxury, what can guests experience? What are some of the great offerings here?
Well, we have, of course, our beautifully decorated rooms.
Yes.
Quiet elegance is what I would say. And then you can tell me after
Yes,
you say
absolutely.
Yes, and of course, we're known for our long legacy of service. I think you can tell our staff here, a lot of them have been with us for a long time. They're the heart and soul of the hotel. Right?
The heart and soul of the hotel, and it is about service.
You experience when you walk in, our doormen, there's a genuine warmth when they welcome you. Yeah.
Absolutely, and even said welcome back.
Yes.
Like, wow.
Oh, yes, he remembers you.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And are there any fun bespoke experiences that you've kind of designed, whether with dining or exploring San Francisco? Any fun?
Oh yes, with
things?
we offer concierge services at the hotel. I mean, a lot of hotels don't anymore, but
Right.
So our concierge, he knows all the little insider secrets. So he frequently curates bespoke experiences for guests who are looking for something different, something special. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. And what is your favorite memory here
Of
at the
working here
hotel?
at the
Yes.
Oh, there's so many. I think my favorite is that I've been here for a long time, and my favorite is working with these wonderful people. Yeah, always, every day.
InterContinental Mark Hopkins San Francisco is a delicious destination. The Nob Hill Club provides a unique dining setting and delectable modern American fare. I especially enjoyed the green pea risotto with scallops and a trio of cheesecake for dessert. Located on the 19th floor is the iconic and award-winning Sky Lounge, Top of the Mark. It's the #1 hotel bar in San Francisco, the #1 hotel bar in California, and the #2 hotel bar in the United States with unmatched views and excellence. The squadron shot is a cherished tradition that continues at Top of the Mark. During World War II, servicemen would gather for a squadron shot, raising a toast for good luck and a poignant farewell before shipping off. Loved ones would gather at the Weeper's Corner at Top of the Mark and watch the ship sail. The bar became a symbol of both farewell and homecoming. Even today, all who have served or are serving in the military are invited for a squadron shot. And you can even purchase a bottle to donate for the squadron shots and leave a personalized note of appreciation to the brave men and women who have served or are serving. Top of the Mark is also a great venue for weddings and special events. For additional information about InterContinental Mark Hopkins San Francisco, please visit ihg.com and follow them on Instagram, IC Mark Hopkins and Top of the Mark SF. And please follow Kitchen Chat as well. Many thanks to Connie and the wonderful staff at InterContinental Mark Hopkins, San Francisco. And also a special thank you to Chalkboard PR and Communications for this most memorable stay. Cheers to you, dear foodie friends, for joining me for a taste of luxury, history, and hospitality. Always remember to take a moment and savor the day.